are these HVXs, FS7s.
Yeah, we got an FX7 and the FX6.
Oh, love it.
You're an eye.
I make film. Some have even said I'm a filmmaker. When I decided to like finally take the plunge and start writing the script for The People's Joker with Bree, it was really me tapping into something that I think I had always wanted to do and didn't really know. I wasn't really fully aware of it. I don't think I really realized how much I loved Batman until I started working on it. And also just like how much these books like really informed my queer identity. You know, both as a trans woman and as just like a gay trans woman. Like I have a very tangible and visceral memory of seeing Batman Forever. You know, it was the infamous scene where Nicole Kidman's in bed. She's like set up this date that she's supposed to have with Batman, and he's looking at her and she's looking at him and she's touching his rubber nipple suit. And I felt like I was seeing myself on screen for the first time. I wanted somebody to look at me the way Batman looked at Nicole Kidman. I wanted to look as sexy and as beautiful and as confident and as like smart as that character I really feel like was written. Watching what Todd Phillips did with his Joker movie kind of reminded me that like these characters are modern myths and you can use them to talk about things like class struggle and identity and familial relationships and trauma and stuff like that. And I really wanted to tap into that, but through like a Schumacher lens. And I can confidently say now on the other side of like making the film that, yeah, I've probably wanted to make a Batman movie, let alone a gay Batman movie my entire life. When I started making The People's Joker, I kind of had a feeling I had ADHD, but I wasn't entirely sure. And I look back now and go, yeah, no, I clearly did, because I thought the movie we made was gonna take us no time at all. I thought it was gonna take me like maybe 6 months. I got an ADHD diagnosis in the middle of working on it. And turns out one of the characteristics, at least of my situation, is not really understanding how long processes take. We started filming the movie in pre-vax pandemic. Like it was October of 2020. So the only option really was to shoot the movie with a COVID-safe crew in a sound studio. I have been working specifically in like kind of a green screen place my like entire career. And it's always been kind of grounded in this sort of lo-fi, you know, very kind of grounded in that aesthetic. And I think with this movie, it was kind of like walking this line of like finding the balance between lo-fi and making stuff look good. But even that aside, just making a movie where every single shot is in front of a green screen, it was super hard to pull off what we pulled off. But the fact that we got, you know, when I opened up the creative process to like anyone that wanted to make a trans Joker movie with me, I was really surprised at the sheer volume of, you know, responses I got from people that wanted to like help us make this weird thing. The quality of work that I was getting from every single animator and musician and VFX artist that, you know, we worked with on the film, like kind of like put me in a position where it was like, yeah, this is a really hard movie to make, but it's so worth it just because of the beautiful work we're getting. I think the challenge that I had was really finding a cohesive voice to sort of unify all the aesthetics into one, but the quality of the art and music and you know, illustrations and characters design and everything, you name it, like the quality of that stuff made that labor of love completely worth it. I really came up in the industry in an environment where we were encouraged to become multi-hyphenates, particularly like coming up in post-production on shows like Nathan For You and Comedy Bang Bang and Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories and Check It Out with Steve Brule. And, you know, oftentimes I was working in a genre place. So I've always been kind of just in this mode of like, yeah, I want to do music, I want to edit, I want to do VFX, and I really want to do it in this kind of genre space. So practically speaking and technically speaking, I learned a lot of things that enabled me to make a 90-minute mixed media comic book movie called The People's Joker. I was expecting my trans Joker movie to push a few buttons with certain types of people. The one thing I never saw coming was how many people would basically just say, didn't you think that Batman and the Joker, actually, but didn't you know, Batman and the Joker are, actually owned by DC Comics? And, didn't you think, even for a second, that, you'd be breaking copyright law in, yeah, I thought, yeah. Yeah. To all the armchair lawyers out there who seem to think this movie violates copyright law and trademark law, it truly doesn't. I worked with an attorney when we wrote it, somebody who had expertise in copyright and trademark and fair use and parody law, and I followed those guidelines very specifically. Every single frame in this film was handcrafted by myself and a team of over hundreds of people. This movie follows fair use and parody law to the letter. And if anything, it should be proof that these laws are really problematic and very vague. Somebody the other day on Twitter said, I would love for you to make a trans Wolverine movie, which I would call X-Men, EX-Men. And I said, you should do it. I'm tired. It's shoved down our goddamn throats every day of our lives that these are the modern myths. And that's why there's a billion movies of them. If they are our modern myths, if we're supposed to understand Batman and Joker as modern myths, myth is about finding oneself. Myth exists so we can look at ourselves and understand where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going. So myth should return to the people.